Today is very exciting because we are going to be putting in our backsplash and carpet, which means that we can start decorating inside, getting our couch assembled, and making it just a little bit more livable in the RV. We are nowhere near done with all of the other projects. We still have to install our solar, our inverter, upgrade our battery bank. We need to put in our composting toilet. We still have to finish Operation Watertight on the roof, including new vents. So there's still a lot to do, but today's project is beautifying it, and that's exciting. We went with Tic Tac tiles. It is a peel and stick tile. You're not supposed to need any extra adhesive, but we have heard if you've painted your walls that it is not very sticky. It can come right off of painted walls. So we did not paint our wallpaper back here so that hopefully we don't need extra adhesive. We do have it just in case, but it's pretty easy. You just peel the back of the paper off and stick it down. Now, since we got weird shaped tile for the backsplash, we're going to actually have to cut it so that it fits with straight lines, since there's no straight lines on this. So our project today will probably be pretty time consuming just because of all of the cutting and maneuvering we have to do for this backsplash. But I cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to look great. I'm so excited. We're making progress.
Alright, so now that'll make the back edge easy. So let's see, let's test it.
Perfect.
Let's cut another one and just set it on that side and see what we think. So I want to start in the back corner of the kitchen because I feel like matching, if I can get that seam looking good, then the rest of it will just kind of flow. So I cut my first couple of test pieces, and this one came out looking good, and I thought that if I just trim the same amount off of the next piece but the opposite side, because it's going to be going down the other wall, that it would just butt up together and the pattern would match. No, not accurate at all. So I'm glad I'm doing dry fits, because this is where we're going to start. This is going to be over here. But if you put these together, so I gotta go like another half of a piece in, or another half of the pattern in, before it'll actually match up to the rest of it. So I'm glad I looked at that before we started sticking stuff. There's number one.
Yay!
Already learning so much about peel and stick tile that I didn't want to know. So yes, if you leave this clear plastic cover on, it like stiffens up the whole piece, and it's not so much like a floppy sticker. Way easier to kind of line up and get onto the wall if you leave that on. And two, depending on which way you're going, like the factory already cut out one side, so going this way, overlapping the seams, is going to be really easy. But going towards your right hand, you're going to have to trim off these white pieces so you don't overlap the tile that you've already stuck with a white piece. Unless you've painted with, I would even say, like a semi-gloss or something glossy, this is going to stick to whatever wall that you got going on, because it's not, I don't know, it's, you can peel it off if you make a mistake, but it's definitely sticky enough to stay stuck once you've stuck it where you want it. Let's just say that. Also, I'm noticing that you're never gonna not see the seams. So if you're a perfectionist like I am, you're gonna have to kind of accept some minor imperfections, because that kind of just is the product. And you can't do anything about it. You can just trim it as best you can to make it look the best it can, but once you've done that, kind of have to overlook the minor imperfections after that. Like right now, once I step far enough away, I can't see the seam, but if you get close enough, you can totally see that there's a seam right here. But at the end of the day, if I didn't point it out and you just walked into the RV, then you'd probably never see it. And My brother-in-law got a tip from a man wiser than him, and he said once he started doing house renovations, he goes, "Don't worry about it. No one's ever going to see it but you." And he's probably right. Right, it is done, and not without a couple of speed bumps, but all in all, a very easy install. We did run out of material, so we got to order a few more sheets. We had 12 sheets, and that was supposed to cover a certain square footage area, which we thought we were under. But the way I did it, I started trimming things to make the cuts easier, or so I thought, and we ran out of material. I'm not exactly sure, so I guess the lesson here is to order more than you think you need, just in case you mess up a tile or whatever, you don't do your square footage measurements right. Just order more than you think you need. But yeah, I think it looks great. The pattern is killer. It works with the countertops and the rest of the counter color. Since we ran out of materials, we're going to stop on this for today, but you get the gist of how it's going to look when it's done. And the next project is installing carpet in the slide room underneath the couch. We ended up finding this remnant piece from a local carpet shop, and it ended up costing us like 20 bucks, which is killer. Wish we could have got it installed for 20 bucks, but I got to do that. I've never installed carpet before, and I'm just going to get to it. I am making this a little more complex than it probably would have been from the factory, because the slide actually has like a finish piece, bezel type thing, wood bezel that goes around the front edge of the slide to just close it off so things can't roll underneath there and stuff. But that's actually keeping me from being able to service the rollers that push the slide in and out. So I'm gonna wrap the floor of the slide first, and then come back and modify the finished trim piece, and then cover that in carpet by itself. That way I can actually remove just a piece of the trim whenever I'm ready to grease the wheels of the slide. We moved to the carport because I needed an area where I could actually spread the remnant piece out and cut it to the size that I need without having to monkey around inside of the RV. All right, so I'm just going down, you know, every 6 inches or so. I'm putting a little tick mark at 34 inches. So it'll make my life easier as I'm cutting this long straight line to go on top of the slide room floor. Throw it in the RV and see what it does. Never used one of these before either, like ever. Take that back. Well, I did use a nail gun once, and I almost put a nail into my buddy's behind with it. That was a little scary. That's not gonna happen this time. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tack like the back edge and then trim. Obviously some of this needs to be trimmed. So I'm gonna tack it so it doesn't shift anywhere as I'm cutting, and yeah, and then I'll wrap the front edge. I'll pull tight, wrap, and staple, and then we'll start working on the finished trim. Now what I'm doing is dry fitting the finish piece, but the slide room mechanism that I want to be able to service is about EA. So I'm going to put this up here so I can see it, and then mark off exactly where I need to trim. And then I have another piece of board that's the same size, and a nice little access panel for me to be able to service the slide, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around why Fleetwood didn't give you a service panel for either side of the slide room mechanism in the first place. But whatever. Here we are. Like right here. And right here.
It's a really technical measurement right
like
here.
That?
Mm-hmm.
Right here, right here. Hirsch. Now I'm going to pull a Dremel out so I can cut this little piece. If you don't have one of these Dremel multi-tools in your toolkit as an RVer or a homeowner for that matter, you're messing up. Because this has saved our lives as far as doing installs in the fifth wheel and now in the Sprinter so many times. Now I'm just wrapping the edges using a staple gun to tack it down like so. The last screw for the slide trim piece, and then we're going to push the slide out just to make sure that everything jives. So this is pretty much the finished product. It looks pretty good if I do say so myself. I ended up actually using just the piece that I sliced out of the trim, and this is going to be the access door now for the slide room mechanism, so I can lubricate that. It's supposed to be done once a month, or so I've been told. But anyway, it actually worked out pretty well because you're not even going to be able to notice that it's even there. Just stick a self-tapper in, and then whenever we need to lubricate, just pop it off. Put a little silicone action in there. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this next update on our RV renovation. If you did, please give us a thumbs up below, and while you're there, hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell next to it. That way you get alerted every time we drop a new video here on YouTube. And until then, we'll see you next week. Don't do this at home, kids. So you don't overlap the tile that you've already sticked with a white piece. Stuck. And I can tell you that it is nearly impossible to do it the other way if you've already put the tile onto the wall, because as you can see, this stuff is...
Did you forget that it was unstuck?
Pretty bionic. Damn, I'm good.